Yeah, hey Freddie,
Yeah.
how are you?
Hey. Hey. Very good. Hey. Nice to have you on.
Oh, it's
Uh,
nice to be on.
yep. Hey. Thanks for everything. We got 140 people on live right now watching us. So it's a
Oh,
nice,
great.
nice, nice little turnout so far. And I want to pull up your stuff. So everyone, this is Jared Gaines. He's an artist in Virginia. He's also the designer of this design for the BR Page logo, which is prominently featured in the background here.
Hey, yeah, you
Um,
got it.
yep. So they managed to. I pulled the logo from the website, and they made shirts out of it. So I'm gonna pull up your info, your site, because I like the artwork. This is Jared's stuff. So if you're into, is this a style of art? Is it known? Does it have a name? I'm not too keen on the tattoo scene.
Well, yeah, that's all right. It's pretty commonly referred to as tattoo flash or flash style illustration.
Okay.
Essentially, it is illustration, though.
Yeah. So just so people know, what we're doing is, let me put that up. Bam. So we got three of Jared's works available. We have three of two types of prints that. So if you give if anyone gives a $30 donation during this next half hour, we're gonna track you down and we'll get one out to you. And I'm gonna share these real quick. This is the Suffer Flash. I believe this is one of the two. So I like
Right.
how each one you've captured the song in an image. Uh, what goes into making these? That you just kind of sit. You're like, all right, here's the song, here's the theme. What can I get out of this? Is it like time? Is this something that takes a while to be inspired for this, or do you
Right.
get?
It does take a long time. In this case, it was strictly confined to the Suffer album in order, every song represented. Because I usually do these for albums that I feel like are perfect and all killer, no filler. And I feel like Suffer was definitely one of them. And
Yeah,
as you
it,
can see, I had um,
each
limited
song.
room for each song. So that's
Yeah,
why they're a little small and compact, um, and
yeah,
obvious to a lot of Bad Religion fans. The lyrics are so, they cover such intense
topic.
topics.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it is quite difficult to sort of condense them down and convert them over to something
Well,
so simple.
yeah, but at least like each song has almost kind of like a lot of the albums. Each song covers something different, so at least you have.
Right.
You're not gonna have three Superman flash designs,
Right,
So
right.
that works. I really love this. I'm actually my favorite song of these is "What Can You Do." So that one, I guess the skull is a popular theme in your work.
Oh,
Uh,
sure, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Let's see, and I'm gonna share the other one real quick if I could find it. And this is the second one. So again, if you read the bottom below, we're gonna give these away to minimum $30 donors, and then we'll get in touch with you. We're gonna pull the other one up. I like this one too. This looks like a this looks like an arm tattoo waiting to happen.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
This is
and
a take on the
the Rock of
classic Rock of
Ages.
Ages imagery, far before our time.
Yeah, it's like the
But,
'60s.
well, it was even before then in the late 1800s, I believe. There's paintings of it,
Oh,
um,
okay.
used in,
Imagery, right?
yeah,
Religious imagery.
more
Yeah,
religious context of
yeah.
the woman
I
hanging onto the cross. And I just thought, man, it's just so. perfect on the path that I was already on as far as combining tattoo imagery with music and with Bad Religion's music. I thought it's just it's just too good to pass up. So
Yeah. Yeah, no, I like it. I can appreciate religious art. I really architecture, um, the stuff's been around forever. So
sure, yeah,
into artwork. So those are the two items we are showing off that we're going to be giving away. So he's been kind enough to donate 3 of each of the 2 that we showed off. So there's a 6 total that we can find their way to your home. So we'll
that's
be
right.
giving those away. Yep. So what have you been a fan? Have you been a Bad Religion fan for a long time, or is this something like that you've come across? I mean,
Yeah, it's been a long time since I was a teenager, and um,
did you grow up on the East Coast?
yes, and in more context, I grew up in a very religious household where
Okay.
such albums were not allowed, and this type of music was not allowed, and especially for, I'm sure a lot of Bad Religion fans out there maybe have experienced this, but when your parents find that logo, and how
Yeah.
offensive it is visually and immediately, and how that might work for some of the people out there who experienced that. And if your parents were cool with it, then that's even better. But if not, that's part of the I want to be a punk rock teenager sort of
I grew
battle.
up. Yeah, I grew up in a Hispanic household. It was Catholic, but it wasn't very religious. It was just like, all my uncles played guitar at the church, but my mom was not. They didn't force stuff on us, so which was nice. So I
Right.
went to my first Bad Religion show was in New York City in '96 or '97, and they had
Oh,
these posters. It was like a small 3 club tour. They were recording No Substance, and they were they had these specific tour posters for 3 shows, and then, of course, the Crossbusters sticking right in the middle of the freaking poster. So I'm like, oh, do I hang this up, or what do I do with this? What kind of response am I going to get? And I didn't get much of a response, and maybe I was looking for a response, and you know how it is as a teenager.
oh, sure, yeah, you're looking for it,
Yeah, you're looking for it. So
and
uh,
and you'll get it. Certainly, that logo's got its own history, but you'll definitely get it even
yeah,
today. And
yeah,
even today, they have the, I guess, the Trump Buster or the T with the
yeah,
Buster's sign, and
yeah. There needs to be a more inspired design for that, because
oh, sure, yeah,
you got the no parking, you have the P, and then like
yeah,
T at the
yeah,
end. Yeah.
yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe we can have like an orange face, or an orange that YouTube the orange face guy on a Crossbuster. Maybe that'll do. But is there any plans for any additional works? What do you have up? Are you working on any projects, or um, uh,
Well, I've done. Well, yeah, I'm always thinking of what album should be next, and there's just so many good albums out there, even outside of the punk rock genre, that it's hard to sort of narrow it down.
yeah? I mean, let
Um,
me pull up. I know you've got, so outside of just the Bad Religion. You know which one that caught my eye was the Descendants one. Um, and then you probably had a lot of easy work with them because it's all coffee related.
it was a little more fun, I will say that, relative to Suffer. Diving into those lyrics, I started to get um, more of an educated, but more of a sort of a negative worldview, reading about the topics covered in Suffer.
Right.
Um, kind of bummed me out for a little while diving in there, but yeah, as you can see here, Descendants was certainly
Yeah.
more fun to make and more fun content.
Yeah. I'm gonna probably pick one of these up I like the idea of prints. I was like, we were talking I think yesterday. I was like, I can't get tattoos because of my arms. I have
Yeah, yeah.
psoriasis, so I always wanted to get a sleeve done, but I can't, and I don't want to take the risk. So, um, uh, the best I can do is probably get a print.
Oh, sure.
You know,
And that's what they are really for, is for the wall. I mean,
yeah.
um, the first one I did actually was for Stranger Than Fiction album. Was the first time I ever did Flash for a song. It was about 4 years ago, and I was trying to think. I was in a tough spot in life and trying to think about. Um, this, well, the song "Incomplete" really resonated with me, and I was thinking, man, I just love it so much. What can I do about it? I was want a tattoo, and I was thinking, wait a minute, I can't just show up and say I want "Incomplete" written on my arm. That's
Right. Yeah.
ridiculous. Let me
How do
think
I
about it.
how do I
And
convey that? How do I convey that
yeah, how
to
do you do that?
yeah.
um, and I said, well, I was getting into Flash art at the time. I was like, well, let me just try to to get a little bit ahead and try to think of what this song. There's a lot of great visual imagery mentioned in the song, and actually, so it's 4 years ago. I have it here. Was the first drawing
Oh,
for
nice.
Incomplete, Lock Without a Key,
Lock without a key. Yeah.
and it's a could be a church, could be a couple of crosses there, but
Let me. I'm sorry. Let me feature that. Can you
oh
put that
sure.
up again? Yeah. Look at that.
And that's the first. This is the one that kind of kicked off everything, because when I was finished, I said, "Well, there's other good songs on this album too. Let's give it a shot. Let's keep going. Track two. What
Yeah.
is it?
Yeah.
Let's keep drawing." And I kept going, and obviously, a lot of other people can enjoy this type of art too, because there's a lot of Bad Religion fans out there.
Yeah. How did you come across Bad Religion growing up on I grew up in New Jersey, so I'm surprised that I'm a bigger fan of West Coast music than
Oh,
East
sure.
Coast hardcore stuff. You know.
Uh, Probably shortest stories. I had an older brother into punk rock and hardcore.
Yeah.
Um, and my first Bad Religion album, I guess you want to say compilation, but it was all ages, and that's what I had first, and that had all the hits on it.
Yeah.
Um, so I had a really good first exposure to all the great songs.
Yeah. I had a friend who was a drummer, and then he signed up. He answered an ad to join a band, and then these guys were from like the town over, and they were like 7, 8 years older than us. And I think they're responsible for exposing us to punk rock. So
Yeah,
yeah,
and that's the way it is, and I'm sure it's still going on. Um, you know, I guess the older fans who loved the earlier works before Stranger Than Fiction, like I feel like the works after that, after New America, as you were talking about earlier, we may not um, be so passionate about those, but
yeah.
there's some 14,
This
15-year-old kid out there who's going to pick up that album or some recent album, and they're going to feel the same things that maybe we felt when we picked up No Control or Against the Grain, and
yeah.
that's
I
it's
think
just the way it is.
I think that's what they were trying to go for with that. I'm not sure if you saw the True North video.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
So
a kid.
kind of what they were going for with the kid. I mean, it,
They're gonna see that symbol. They're gonna see that font. I mean, the artwork, and they're gonna get it just as intense as we got it. And perhaps some of those more modern songs are more relevant today than. But you know, with respect to the band and their journey, they really did keep it tight. I felt like they got more, I don't know what the word, experimental or polished on Stranger Than Fiction.
right.
Gray Race, I felt like had some weird tracks, and I really loved that. But I get, I get why they had a formula, and I get why they didn't, you know,
Straight from it.
stray far from it, as talented as they are. So,
Yeah, if it works, why
well, sure.
yeah, I think yeah, whenever I think of that era, I mean that's probably people our age probably got into it around that time,
Yeah.
early '90s. You know, I was just taken back to high school and having a little cassette box of all the tapes. You know, and I think what was the first one I bought? Obviously, Stranger Than Fiction was probably the first one, but um, Generator was the first cassette I bought
Oh, that's great.
because of the imagery on the front. I'm like, this looks weird. This looks very
Yeah.
80s. It's very 80s looking album cover with the lettering and the angel wings imagery.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So,
It and back then it was. I mean, it still is today. All about the album art,
mhm,
and that's what inspired me before I even learned about Tattoo Flash was
yeah,
the album art. It was you could tell when you pick up a metal album or a punk album, and they've for the most part they've done a great job. You know,
yeah,
I didn't even try to mess with the Suffer album art
mhm,
on this tribute piece because it's just great on its own. I can't add
yeah.
anything. In fact, I would be subtracting from it.
On this with the Stranger Than Fiction one, it was purposeful to do black and white, or just it was just what you were doing at the time.
It wasn't purposeful. It was actually um, more of a result of being scared to use paint,
Mm,
and I used marker for that, and just not being brave enough to. I didn't know enough about Flash, so, so I was scared. I had used markers for that, and there's two versions of it. One of which was on a Bad Religion shirt about 3 years ago. It may still be available today. I'm not sure, but um, they wanted it on a shirt, and I just couldn't believe it. Had I known that, I probably would have never drawn it. I would have been too scared.
yeah, yeah.
But anyway, that's why it's black and white. It's because I was scared to even try color on it.
Yeah, I think you're due for a 2021 for the last album. I think you got a lot of material to work with,
Oh yeah, of
especially
course.
with the names of the songs. You got Candidate and Big
Yeah.
Black Dog. Big Black Dog and Paranoid Style should be an interesting take.
Oh sure.
You know,
It's
like
just a tribute. Like all the lyrics are just so. Each song, as everyone knows out there, that the lyrics are just so densely packed with interesting and thought-provoking material.
mm,
Luckily, it's also material that lends itself to some good imagery.
yeah,
It's just like I said, diving into Suffer and thinking about humanity and the population. Especially this year, I was like, oh,
yeah.
I'm glad to
So
be done with it.
yeah, so everyone, if you have a moment, open up a new window, go to jaredgaines.com and take a look at his artwork. And I'm gonna pull it up again.
Oh, something a little even weirder related to both of these things. I
Hmm.
had received this. Well, let me take it out of the frame. I had just received this recently. It is the Suffer print signed.
Oh, nice.
Um, one, two, three, four, five signatures on it. I
Hmm.
thought it was super cool. There's Brian
Uh,
Baker there.
yeah, you gotta
Um,
get that. You gotta get that framed. Were you? Did you, your Virginia area?
like,
Were you into Minor Threat as a younger?
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, how about were you into the Discord bands at the time?
Oh, yeah, I still am actually. I really got
Lungfish.
into them the past few months
Yeah.
again, but yeah, I was always a big Discord fan, still am.
Yeah, there was I played a show with a long time ago, the Lungfish.
Oh yeah, I love Lungfish.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Lungfish is cool. Anyone check them out if you want to check it out. A good band. Lungfish is a good band.
yeah, one of my favorites. And that guy Daniel Higgs has some great artwork too. He was a tattoo artist. He did some great flash
Yeah.
as well.
I didn't even know he was. I know he was a written artist, spoken
Yeah,
word type stuff, but I didn't know he did visual stuff too.
yeah, it's really cool. If we're lucky now to have Google, we can find all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're inspiring too. Um,
All right, so I think we're gonna wind it down and get set up for the next one. And Jared,
all right.
thank you so much for coming on. Let me just check real quick what's going on here.
Oh, it's a privilege, and I have to say thank you to the BR page because diving through Suffer album and some of the commissions I got,
Mhm.
like for songs like Materialist, I scoured the BR page and the lyrics and the comments and all of the people that contributed on there to the interpretations of songs. I was all over the BR page trying to get a grasp on something I could do. So it's an incredible resource. A lot of, I guess, older punks didn't have anything like that, and I just think it's wonderful.
Yeah, yeah. I remember back when we used to use the 3.5 floppies, saving pictures on my on the disc in college, and going on the old iteration of the website and pulling up pictures and saving it to my computer, and it's amazing how far it's come along. Uh, it's a rather large wealth of a vault of knowledge for anyone that's into this stuff.
It
So
is. It's awesome. You guys are doing great.
yeah, yeah. So just to mention one last time, we got the Rock of All Ages and the Suffer flash prints. So if you're into that, just please consider going to the Doctors Without Borders site and maybe pick one up for yourself. I'm gonna pick up an 11 by 14 Stranger Than Fiction probably this week. Um,
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, if your viewers happen to like Bad Religion, they should, they might like this stuff.
Yep. And we'll coordinate getting these items out to the people.
Yeah,
Uh,
and if anybody misses it, just send me an email, send me a message. Like I will totally donate your money to Doctors Without Borders all weekend
yep.
for the Bad Religion items I have. I'm happy to do it. I'm so glad that you all are doing it too. I mean,
Yeah,
it's like you can do some good. Let's do it.
yeah, exactly. So Jared, thanks so much for coming on, man. You have a great rest of your weekend. And oh, look, Marty. Yeah, Marty has to jump in and say thank you, Jared. All right, Marty.
Oh,
Enough attention for
thank
enough
you
attention
all.
for Marty. Yeah. You're right. Yeah. So check out Jared's art. Definitely cool stuff. If I were getting a tattoo, I'd get the style on my arm.
Oh, awesome. I
Yeah.
really appreciate it.
Yep. Thanks, Jared. You have a great rest of your day.
Hey, you too.
Yep.
Y'all
Take
take
care.
care.
Bye bye.